From the University of Virginia's Miller Center, this is American Forum.
I mean, there's several threads that seem to, and some are very obvious, but they're, your fascination with history being the most obvious of them, but there's several threads that flow through many of your films, and a couple of the other threads, and they're probably very related, are one, your rejection of the notion of American exceptionalism, that concept that some would say the arrogance of American exceptionalism, but also a more general concern about militarism and warfare and the unintended consequences of actions taken, such as in Vietnam or such as in Iraq and things. Why do you keep coming back to those fundamental questions?
This is the big one. This is the big story of our lifetime. How deceived we are by American history in schools that is being taught. And this pulls the curtain. The people of the United States do not have access to information that they should have. It's been denied them. And now that we have the internet, there's a possibility to expand and learn more, but still so much is hidden. And it would change the view of the American people, and they wouldn't vote for these clowns that we put into office. And it's a bipartisan consensus for war on terror and spending money for the military. We have these huge elections, we spend a fortune for them, they go on for a year and a half, 2 years, and we do the same thing. We put more money into the military and in the security of the country. Apparently there's this machine, it's money-oriented, it grew up after the World War II era. These people were terrified of another depression. They realized that war was a money-making experience, and they could all benefit and the country they thought was good for General Motors is good for the country.
Do you really think it's as straightforward as that?
I'm being straightforward because you can get cluttered up, but I'm saying trying to get to the point.
But in terms of so the idea that Vietnam was actually a great error, but it was an error that was motivated by a sincere belief by, not just by Kennedy, by Johnson later, by Eisenhower before, that this was a necessary thing to try to curb the great evil of communism. I mean, this was the talk of the time. Yeah. I mean, do you really see it as that actually that was a cover for a kind of commercial and economic incentive?
Well, you can go to the Johnson tapes. He says basically he's pretty pessimistic early on. And he's like telling people that we have to take the stand against communism, otherwise I'll get thrown out of office. It's basically about politics. I'll get thrown out of office for being weak. That's always the thing in American politics, being weak. There's never an acknowledgement of negotiation, diplomacy, or soft power. Johnson didn't have to send 500,000 troops. He knew a lot about that war early, and we know from Ellsberg's papers, the Pentagon papers, how screwed up it was. When Robert McNamara knew it, so many people on the inside knew it. And Johnson did too.
From the University of Virginia's Miller Center, this is American Forum.